Namaste everyone. In this video, we shall answer 3 questions from the sample question paper 2022-23 of CBSE. The questions which I have chosen are related to chemistry. So let's see what are the questions and how to answer them. The questions are multiple choice questions. So let's take the questions now. Okay, this is the first question. You can see there is a figure. Observe the figure carefully and let's understand the question before we answer it. Identify the product which represents solid state in the above reaction. So we need to identify the product here. So we need to identify the product and it should represent solid state in the above reaction. If you look at the figure carefully, in the vertical tube we have the first reactant, which is solution of barium chloride, and in the second test tube we have another reactant, which is solution of sodium sulfate. So we have to uh, determine the product which is in solid state. First of all, a chemical reaction will take place between these two reactants. So what are the two reactants here? So we'll see the two reactants are sodium sulfate. The two reactants are sodium sulfate and barium chloride. So let us write the chemical equation between these two reactants. Right then, so sodium sulfate Na2SO4, it is a solution, so I'll write AQ here. AQ indicates that the reactant sodium sulfate is in solution form, dissolved in water. Another one is barium chloride. Barium chloride is also in solution form, so I'll write AQ here. So when these two reactants are mixed, there will be exchange of ions between these two reactants. So sulfate will move to barium, will get attached to barium. Chloride ion will get attached to sodium, and consequently we will get sodium chloride and barium sulfate. So sodium chloride is soluble in water and therefore it forms a solution. I'm writing AQ. Barium sulfate is insoluble in water. It appears as a solid. So what are the two products here? The two products are sodium chloride and barium sulfate, and that barium sulfate is in solid state. So the equation is not balanced. We can easily balance by writing 2 over here. So sodium is balanced now, chlorine is also balanced, barium and sulfate is already balanced. So what is the correct answer? The product which is in solid state is barium sulfate. So the barium sulfate is the correct answer. So let us see the question again and let's mark the correct option. Let me display the question again. Yeah, you can see identify the product. So do we have the option barium sulfate? Yes, we have the option barium sulfate, and that is option B. So let's mark option B. Okay, next question. The color of the solution observed after 30 minutes of placing zinc metal to copper sulfate solution is. So here, what are the two reactants here? The reactants are zinc and copper sulfate solution. So we need to identify, or we need to tell what is the solution, what is the color of the solution formed. So first let's write the chemical equation, a chemical equation representing chemical reaction between zinc metal and copper sulfate solution. Let me take a new page. Yes, so let me write the chemical equation. So what are the reactants there? Zinc is solid, it reacts with copper sulfate solution, he says, that is AQ. So what will happen? So this copper being more reactive than zinc zinc being more reactive than copper will displace copper from copper sulfate solution. So zinc sulfate is formed. Zinc sulfate is soluble in water, so I'm writing AQ, representing or saying that zinc sulfate is solution, and copper will be displaced. Copper will be displaced. Copper is solid. So now they are asking us to tell the color of the solution form. The color of the solution after 30 minutes will be colorless. Why? Because zinc sulfate solution is colorless. So what is the correct option or correct answer? Colorless. So let me display the question and let's mark colorless option, or the option which says colorless. So let's, you can see it is option B again, so colorless. Let me mark option B. Now let's see the third question. Mild non-corrosive basic salt is. So mild non-corrosive basic salt is. So we need to identify the salt which is mild and non-corrosive. Basic salt. Now let's go option by option and then see which is the correct option. Calcium hydroxide, the first option, is a base, it's not a salt, therefore it's not the correct option. Sodium chloride, it is a salt, but the sodium chloride is formed as a product between the reaction, or we can say it is formed as a product when a strong acid, hydrochloric acid, and a strong base, sodium hydroxide, react with each other. Strong acid will neutralize strong base, and therefore a neutral salt called sodium chloride is formed. But here we are interested in the basic salt, therefore sodium chloride is not the correct option. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Wherever we get hydroxides, they're all bases, and sodium hydroxide is a base or an alkali, but here we need to identify basic salt. So obviously when the options A, B, C are not correct, option D should be the correct option. But let's discuss some more details about this NaHCO3. NaHCO3 is commonly known as baking soda. It is known as baking soda, which we use in kitchens. So whenever we have acidity problem, so you can take a solution of baking soda. It being a basic salt will help to neutralize the excess acid produced in our stomach, and it will help in overcoming the acidity problem. So it can be used as an antacid. So the sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda is can be formed when a strong base, uh, strong base sodium hydroxide will react with a weak acid, carbonic acid, and sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed. A strong acid and a weak base. This weak base will not be able to completely neutralize the strong base, or weak acid will not be able to completely neutralize strong base, and therefore the resultant salt will be a basic salt, and therefore option D, that is NaHCO3 or baking soda, is the correct option. So we have discussed these three questions, we have answered them. I hope you all have understood. Please do subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, please like it and share it. Thank you for watching.